you calling Aaron a failure all those times last time he was on here. Iconic. No, you failed. You're a failure. You failed your marriage. He was talking about it too. He was cracking up and he's like, no, I agree. You're right. I am too nice. And I feel bad for everyone in life. But you're right. And he needs tough love too. They all do. So
we all need tough love.
That's right.
Did you feel bad after the fact, Lila, when you were like, no, that's an L. That's the biggest L you could do. It's like and I want to know this nugget, which I haven't heard him talk about anywhere, or if he has, I just haven't heard it. I want to know because Aaron and April, you can confirm this, Keanu, not known to be swingers, not known to swap in the past, right? This was their first time, right? They had never dabbled. What I want to know is like, at what moment, because it's one thing if this is what you do, you meet under like, you know what I mean? You meet on Thrinder, you meet on some threesome app or whatever, and it's kind of like assumed like you're all in agreement that this will happen at some point.
There are boundaries.
Right. Exactly. So I want to know, like, what is the moment you go from being someone who doesn't do this to someone who does this, right? Is it like, because there's always going to be someone who's a little more into it, and then like for example, like my friends like Corey Chase and Luke Longley, they both film content. They're like adult film people. They're both like about that sort of life. They probably the only example I can think of like equal parts, you know. But when it happens kind of in the wild, there's always one person who's more into it than the other.
And the man could have been the lady, but it ain't me. I'm the guest star. Me, it's not for me. If there are clear-cut boundaries, Aaron and April, people accused me and Gino of swinging with them hundreds of times. The only swinging we did was play golf. That was it. April and I did a cute peck on the lips on a stream. They always thought we were swinging. It was just so we thought that was such a joke and so hilarious. We were like, that's ridiculous. They're swinging with them. I'm still gobsmacked about it. But I think it was I think April was a little more excited about it and maybe knew like maybe they had been speaking with them maybe even a little bit before Aaron. And that's just speculation. I don't know for a fact.
It was a little simmering flirtation.
I think
it was, but it was like a slow burn and then off of a cliff. So I don't know, but
I you know what, the swinging, all that stuff, whatever. It's the drugs, the Molly. That is what really took it there. I don't think the swinging would have occurred without the drugs.
Right.
Binary Recall agrees. He says the drugs, powerful drugs, are consistently used because they make women lose their pants aggressively.
Exactly.
I mean, it also helps when you're in a 5,000 square foot house, and I'm sure it was beautiful.
That's a big house. They're seduced by the money and the power. Aaron should have went in. This is what Aaron should have done. He should have went in that house. He should have seen that there was a hot tub there, and he said, "We're getting out of here. You know what? Let's go to a hot tub store. Maybe I will buy you a hot tub." He should have been like, "Let me triple down on steel toe."
Have a hot tub?
No,
they don't got a hot tub.
They had a big deck. I remember their big deck.
They should have had put.
Aaron has a big deck. Oh, excuse me.
I've seen his big deck. Yeah.
They should have put a hot tub out there. He should have said,
"Me and Lila were there. We held their little dog.
Yeah.
We met their kids.
Gordo."
And he should have been like, "Okay, that's great. Nick Rekieta got this big 5,000 whatever square foot home. You got all these nice things. That's awesome. April, we ain't coming here anymore, and I'll get you a hot tub. You want a hot tub?
Right. If we make the goal this week, we'll get you a hot tub, April. All right. No, you're right. It's there's none of that is illegal. None of that is consenting adults. Whatever. Well, drugs are illegal.
They thought that they could dabble and not lose their marriage.
You know what? If Nick Rekieta and Kayla and the 5 kids lived in a 500 square foot apartment with roaches and rats, there's no seduction would have been happening. They would have set foot in that alarm beeping roach infested place.
No, they lived in a mansion with roaches and rats, apparently. I'm just kidding.
Right. If there was a chirping, that's gonna ruin the vibe.
Exactly.
It was the power, the influence, the hot tub, that goddamn hot
law.
tub.
Yeah.
The lawyer.
So wrong it feels right. Yeah. I don't. And then all Aaron did was make SpaghettiOs for the children, and then completely fuck up his entire marriage by not getting her out of there. So and do a few drugs here and there. But yeah, it's also people that swing don't just like, I don't think, at least, they don't just trade wives. That's a whole nother thing entirely. And there are boundaries set and everybody's in on it, and there's a lot of communication. I think there was communication with some of the people. I don't think that maybe Aaron was always pulled in. I don't.
Aaron's watching April get by another dude. Like, does he just go, all right, well, I'm gonna look like an idiot if I don't. I gotta do some fucking, like, Kayla, get over here. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that he was just as much into Kayla as Nick was into April. You know what I mean? Like, was it a consolation prize? Kind of like well, I can't just be here with my dick out and
with my dick in my hand. Maybe it was a cope, but Kayla came onto him too, and it was like, then remember Nick saying, "You piece of shit, you stood my wife up, or you led my wife on." What is that?
April and Kayla were in love with each other too. I think it was a whole fandango between the four of them. I think the four of them were swinging and swapping.
What I want to know,
rolling around, and
did Nick and Aaron see each other naked?
Yes.
What?
Aaron has said this. He's like, in passing, and I remember him saying,
that's pretty. That's an interesting nugget to me.
I don't think it was. I think they were having
for Lila.
I don't think it was orgy.
There was a splishing and a splashing, and it was a swap. Everybody was swapping. Molly makes you do some weird shit. I think they don't.
Molly, yeah, right.
I think everybody was touching everybody. Everybody was on drugs, and it was a whole
bisexual activity from the men. Is what I want to know.
Yes, probably. Why wouldn't there be? I mean, at this point, you're going in total. Let's f this shit up as much as we can. Let's go. That's what happened.
No. I don't know.
Was there a sword fight in all of this?
Well, with all the blow going around, those would be some pretty, flaccid swords. I don't know.
Man,
but
anything that made my dick soft would be immediately off the table. I don't care what benefits there are.
I believe it does. Yeah, right. And Aaron admittedly said he just did blow 3 times because he doesn't like it or whatever. But Nick's doing it all the time. How is he going to get hard? I don't know. Does he fuck April with his eyes? Like, I don't know. There's all sorts of weird speculation. I'm trying to. I haven't said anything Aaron hasn't said, but
yeah.
And I don't know anything else, but we'll never actually know unless they have, a nanny cam and somebody could buy that footage. You would never know what exactly went on.
So you mean a camera on April's head? Is that the nanny cam? Like a GoPro? You just see a nanny cam, you just see it like going down to like blow Nick. He pulled the chute at the last second, like he was free falling, and he found the cord somehow, and he pulled the chute.
He went, you know what? I think I better get out of here. And I know that he did try and say, April, come home. Okay, could you just come home? Like, but I don't know. So, and we won't know. And all she said to me again was, I know I've been distant. I've been distant from everybody, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay.
Aaron should have gone over there and taken her by the ear and like, come here, you.
Taken her by the nanny cam and dragged her ass home.
Yeah. Just dragged her out by the ear. Come here. Like a kid in trouble. Like,
no, Dad, stop, please. Yikes.
It's hard to know what you would do in that situation, but I think my ego would not let me like lose my spouse over it. But then again, I would never let it get to that point.
You have 5 kids.
Yeah,
at this point, grow up. Grow up.
We're not talking about people who are 22 to 26, single, figuring out their lives or something. We're talking about people who are in their 40s with children, and like there's no excuse. So There's no excuse
No,
for
I
it.
know, right? 100%. He didn't claim us, and he has never said to us, "Don't talk to her." Now we can't. I don't know, but not can't, but she's not answering. So
the Rekietas seem like this really great family who you're married for a long time. You have 5 kids. You're homeschooling them. Kayla seems like this homemaker, like kind of trad wife, and she gets to homeschool them. And you see they're kind of like, oh, this is the conservative values, the conservative way. And then this is the shit that goes down. And it's like, what the hell's really going on here? You know what I mean? That's what makes it so disturbing and bizarre.
I'm sure they're not inherently bad people, but drugs change people, I guess. So
and it's kind of it is interesting that it's like we talk about things like the Johnny Depp divorce, right? Like that was like a huge thing, and everybody in the world talked about it. Nick Rekieta, he made a ton of money from speaking about this, and then it's like things come back around, and now it's
does Nick claim to be a conservative that you know of?
I think I don't know if he claimed to be, but he was kind of looked at that way and had a lot of conservative support.
He used to not even swear on his streams, right? That's what I heard. I don't know. And he's kind of do you know, you heard the same thing? He's a religious guy that,
so
sort
it's
of
like,
goes
even if
hand
you're
in
not
hand
claiming to be conservative, you're going to church, you have 5 kids, you're homeschooling
and your wife
them.
doesn't work. Yeah.
So it's like he doesn't have to claim to be anything. He's living the lifestyle that a lot of people promote. So people look up to that, and it's a little bizarre when it's like, actually, that's not what we're doing at all, and we're doing a bunch of blow and a bunch of drugs.
It's
and he admitted he was he was embracing like a midlife crisis, and he's also said we had a lot of kids, we had them early, and now we're having fun.
So, but what I'm trying to say, like the bigger picture of like, right now people are saying, have kids, get married young, do this now. And it's like, okay, but they did that. They freaking did that young. And then now look what happened. Like, Chrissy, you've said this before. It's kind of like, don't you feel like you kind of got all that craziness out of you in your 20s and, did a lot of crazy stuff, Keanu. And then it's like, now you're at the place where you're like, I'm really happy when this is what I want to do. You kind of, I don't know. I just don't see a cocaine binging.
I don't feel like I'm wondering like a bunch of what ifs at all. Like I feel like
it's so hypocritical and weird. I'm a god man, and but also I haven't changed my kids' clothes in 4 days.
Regardless of what he's saying, he claimed he was a libertarian or this or that. Yeah, but he didn't start his career saying I'm doing cocaine and inviting people to my hot tubs.
Addiction is horrible. Right. Addiction is horrible.
It probably started out as like wanting to be a bit of a host, and oh wow, we have these friends that are local and we do the same thing. And then, but that's, if I was in one of their shoes, I would be like, no, we're not swapping, because then it's only a matter of time before the whole thing crashes down. Like it's near impossible to start fucking around like that and maintain a friendship.
Right. And sorry, 5 kids, guns, drugs. I'm not anti-gun. Just maybe not have them laying around. If your kids are complaining that they're hungry, I think there's a problem.
And I think if you're gonna do that, God, it's like if you're gonna do the drugs thing, you got to go away for the weekend. Keep your kids with somebody.
Yeah, right.
And even if you did it once a year, like me and Frank were talking about this, like even if you did once a year, we go to Vegas and Coke or something, and that's but we don't bring it into the house, and we don't
live stream.
Live stream so fucked up. You don't even know the camera's not off, and then go, I don't have a problem. Right. It's fine. I'll say this again. If the first thing on my mind, if that happened to me, right, like him, and then he's like, okay, now I'm out. What should I do to get my kids back? Wouldn't that be the first thing on your mind? Not going on your locals and talking and doing all this stuff, or, live streams will be back or whatever. What do I need to do to get my kids back? I don't have a child.
I mean, like he's not going to say that publicly. I'm sure that that's something that's being worked on in private.
just a weird, arrogant thing that to me, and I don't know him. I don't even know him. It's a really unfortunate thing. And he's popping up in everybody's chats. Why are you watching any of this? Like, what are you saying hey to Win by 2 radio for? What why? It's weird. It just seems odd to me, but
maybe
again,
that's
just speculation.
Yeah. I'm trying to put myself in his shoes, but maybe it's the idea that you have to sort of keep up appearances. Like you have to still sort of stay out there. But again, I don't know if it's limited what he can say right now.
If he said, hey, you know what? I had a problem. I'm going to do better. I'm going to figure out how to be a better father to my kids and fix all of this and whatever. I guess he can't say that or whatever, but that would be the redemption arc. I would feel that
the drugs were not around the kids and
it's in your house. They're complaining about being hungry. Not Nick. Okay, good.
They are around the kids because the parents are on drugs and they're not acting normal. And the parents around the kids.
And it's a lot of drugs.
We don't even like SpaghettiOs. Why do you keep giving us?
Like, why are they tugging on Aaron's pant leg asking for food? What is this? That's ridiculous. Why is Aaron heating up SpaghettiOs? Does no one see this? This is weird. Like,